Ladies and gentlemen, go live. Ladies and gentlemen, last week we played a little game about people who were might be re-signed to WWE who aren't under like any other contracts at the moment. A couple got lost in the shuffle on our studio account. We got on Johnny Gargano, Candace. You all think they're coming. Bray's a possibility. I just want to put this picture up there. The ones that I missed, John DeConnie, real quick. Yes, maybe.
Wouldn't mind it one bit. He definitely made himself look a lot better in Impact.
Yeah, he did. Gary, maybe.
Oh, I want maybe not.
And then this one was the layup for John Smith. Got him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. My name is Karl. I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a second. We are powered, as always, by the Eastern Observer. You can taste the power. As you can see, we're one short today. And unfortunately, of all the episodes for John Smith to miss, he's probably the biggest carrying cross guy that I know. And he's unable to make it. He's having power outage issues. His fuses in his house keep blowing. Hopefully, we'll get to him at some point in time during the show. He just sent me a text now. Still butthurt over Ryan spoiling it for him. For those who know, we have a text chain. Ryan Joy actually spoiled Karrion Kross's return for him. I texted him privately, like, dude, I would kill him if I were you right now. So he's John Smith's just not in a good place right now as a whole, and hopefully we'll see him at some point in the show. On the bottom part of our screen with us today, joining us, is not having power outage issues. It's not even bad weather today in Jersey. John DeConnie, first ever PW champion, living legend. It's just hot and humid. We're hovering mid-90s today. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's always, especially in North Jersey, there's always a chance of a brownout. So you can lose your power from running too many ACs, and a day like today definitely gets the ACs pumping.
Yeah, I had one of my fuse. I had a circuit breaker, fuse blow, air conditioning. I was just watching TV, like nothing out of the ordinary. It's just hot. Gary Mehaffy's joining us with the first part of the segment. We're doing WWE, so Gary's going to chime in. We love his insight and the UK relevance coming forward, going into Clash at the Castle. We want to try to get Gary on as much as possible. It's his neck of the woods. Gary, top of the evening to you, Malati.
Good evening, gents. And we're in the same boat over here. We're having another mini heat wave this week. Yeah, it's up to 40 Fahrenheit. We're in the high 80s, early 90s as well here at the minute. So
yeah, we usually don't get 40 degrees till like December, but yeah, this sounds really warm. Oh, Celsius. Yeah, that's right. Forgot about that. Yeah, we're Fahrenheit over here in the States. Yeah, anyway. On today's episode, we have new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Thank freaking God. New NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. We're crowning new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And I'm betting on this Friday we'll have new Knockouts Women's Tag Team Champions as well. We'll get into all of that on today's episode. Gary Mehaffy, as you see right now, he's going to join us, as always, in the NXT UK segment. And I was completely surprised. We have a championship tournament to talk about, Gary. We got a lot of brackets. We have two brackets now with the women's and now the UK. That was kind of all of a sudden. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows, as always, sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And guys, she will like it too.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to main event the show today with making our picks for AEW's Quake by the Lake. Proud tradition of Quake by the Lake. And we're going to main event. The big main event will be Impact's Emergence Impact Plus special on Friday. Here are the Raw roll-up standings heading into this week. And oh my God, John DeConnie, in the midst of everything, we finally got a bunch of Raw roll-ups this week, and I forgot to make the graphics for the end. Maybe I can do that while we're talking here. So if you see my head down, I'm not paying attention. But here are the standings going in. Raw with a 5 roll-up lead on AEW. But, man, we finally got some heavy hitting action this week.
I mean, we say it every once in a while. Someone's out there listening. Last week, we said it was like nobody was even trying because those numbers just weren't going up. This week paid off.
All right, but we are going to curtain jerk the show with WWE, and there goes WWE ripping off AEW. We are getting debut after debut after debut. The main event segment, as I get to our blue background of SmackDown and change everything over, the Bloodline was doing an in-ring promo. We had to acknowledge Roman Reigns. There we go there. They win the big matches. They were out there bragging about it, as bad guys do. Interrupted by Drew McIntyre as Roman was giving his prayers to his wise man. The wise man was injured at SummerSlam. Drew, without his sword, didn't want to wait till the clash. But then music hits. The screen turns black and white. Scarlet appears. No one knows what's going on except for everybody at home and probably in the audience. Drew's befuddled. The Bloodline standing there. Who the hell is this broad? Carrying Cross with an attack on Drew McIntyre. Leaves him laying. And I guess now that's the reason why I didn't bring the sword out. But Scarlet, they got the hourglass back. They have a new hourglass. For those of you way back in the day, Keith Lee broke their old one, but we have a new one. And Scarlet flipped it. And the sands of time are running, apparently, on the Bloodline. So for those of you who are MCU fans, they're making the comparison right now of Triple H to Thanos. We got 2 stones right now. We got Dakota Kai back. We got Karrion Kross back. 4 more slots. And as we found out last night, we'll get to it. And one of those was full again. When we rewind in the night, staying with the Bloodline, Sami Zayn, multiple attempts on trying to get into the Bloodline's locker room to congratulate Roman on SummerSlam. The first time he went there, the Usos said just, hey, Us, not a good time. Second time they went, Jimmy's like, you know what, Heyman's not here. Go in the production truck, make sure his music's ready, make sure his pyro's ready. These are all important things that Paul has to do. We need him done. And Sami was reluctant, but he did it. And then the third time, he went back. Jay snapped on him. Jay wasn't, finally, Jimmy's a little more, I guess, lenient with Sami. Jay's not as much. Jay gave Sami a hard truth. The Bloodline leveled up at SummerSlam. They got it done. Sami needs to start pulling his weight, or else they're going to rip that Bloodline shirt right off him. So Sami's got to step up, and hopefully we can see that happen. I'm loving this whole thing. It's been fun, but I guess all good things must come to an end. Liv Morgan came out in-ring promo with an arm brace from Ronda Rousey's attack at SummerSlam, interrupted by Sonya Deville saying Liv shouldn't be champion. The crowd kind of let her know it too, John DeConnie. They were kind of booing the "you tapped out" chants. They were kind of siding with Ronda on this one. Poor Liv, my heart kind of broke for her. Kayla Braxton, apparently, it was on all social media that her facial expressions were kind of noted as well. She was a little disappointed with the fans, but I guess the bottom line is that there's going to be a gauntlet match with 6 women, and the winner gets Liv. Hopefully a 100% Liv. We got a month to heal up here for the SmackDown Women's Championship at the Clash.
Yes, indeed. And Sonya was already out there, so as luck of the draw would have it, she's in the first match to kick things off. She's got Aaliyah, and she took care of her in about 2 minutes, 17 seconds. She debuted a new finisher. I'm sure there's another name for this. Finn Balor uses the name. You set somebody up for like the Scorpion Death Drop, and you swing around and come down across their chest with like a clothesline or an elbow across the chest. I don't know what it's called, but in Sonya's case, it's now called the Deville's Advocate. So look forward to that going forward. I like it.
I like that.
Next up was Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Rodriguez. That's some push-ups for me. She got rid of Sonya in less than 2.5 minutes with a Chingona bomb. She pretty much did the same thing to Shotzi, although that one got through a commercial break, so they got 5.5 there. And she's got a new way to get to it now. With Shotzi, she took her up for a power bomb, then slipped her arm in and brought her down with the Chikona, Tahana, whatever you want to call it, bomb. Next up was Xia Li. another 2.5 minutes, another win. Then Natalya actually got the upper hand for a minute there. She had Raquel mounted in the corner, and before she had a chance to start raining down fists, Raquel scooped her up. Chingona bomb, 1, 2, 3. Now we get down to our 8th and final participant, Shayna Baszler, and I'm already celebrating Raquel going to the castle, but it was not to be. Raquel back rolled out of the corner, and she was stuck with Shayna on her back in the Kirifuda clutch, but she rolled over it a la Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, and 1, 2, Shayna releases to kick out, and then she tumbles over kind of a La Magistral without trapping the arm and rolled her up with a back bridge and cha-ching on the roll-up scale, and Shayna Baszler is headed to Clash at the Castle.
Yeah, actually, also, I'm torn with this. I want Shayna unleashed, but I want Liv as champion for a little bit. But Liv Morgan going into a match with Shayna Baszler with an arm injury.
Not good.
This might be a problem. This might be a problem for our beloved Jersey girl from Englewood. She's from North Jersey somewhere.
I believe so.
All right, let's see what happens. The first 5 to 7 minutes of the show highlighting SummerSlam and repeated replays of Pat McAfee kicking Baron Corbin in the balls. Corbin backstage was getting laughed at by the other wrestlers. Corbin singled out Ricochet, Gary. So they fought about it.
Oh, I mean, it was great. And again, I would happily watch Ricochet every day of the week. And he seems to have been let loose. Now, he's obviously taken my nickname as the highlight of the night, obviously, which is slightly disappointing. But you had Ricochet doing all sorts of moves, all sorts of, say, flips, handspring elbows, flying clotheslines, styling shooting star press, you name it, he was doing it. There was a little bit of distraction from McAfee still to Corbin, or maybe it was just that Corbin was distracted by McAfee, still has Pat on his mind. And to say, I did like the fact that when it came to the end and he got distracted as Ricochet was hitting the shooting star press out of the corner to give Pat McAfee his due, McAfee said he's going to do something that I couldn't do, and he's going to hit this smoothly. And he, in the smoothest of smooth, hits the shooting star press from the corner and takes a 1, 2, 3, and poor old Baron Corbin is beaten again.
Smooth is probably the best word to describe
Yeah.
Ricochet. And that was the funny thing is, and that's, McAfee, he knows he's not a superstar. He was saying that entire match. He's like, I'm not even as good as Ricochet. I'm not even close to being as good as Ricochet. Like, how is Corbin not dead already?
Yeah.
If I can beat Corbin, anybody can beat Corbin. There we go. Kofi King is flying solo at the moment, but he's ready to go after the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders defeated In Action after a double-digit last ride. This will be a double last ride powerbomb. Post-match attack by Kofi Kingston with a kendo stick. So we had an in-action match with a post-match attack. There it goes, WWE ripping off AEW again. There goes SmackDown. Then it turned into a one-man-one match with Kofi Kingston. Oh, never mind. There's WWE. There it is. It turned into a match after the match. Kofi Kingston got them the win over Eric. Chalk roll-up. Another one up for SmackDown. That's 2 for them for this episode. They went to step up. There we go. We got breaking news that there was the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships who were thrown, not in the garbage, but on the prior regime's, I guess, business table, as Sasha Banks and Naomi they didn't like what they were hearing, and they walked out unprofessionally. Whatever Cole blasted them for. But anyways, Cole announced that there will be a tournament at some point, and we haven't heard anything about it. We kind of thought that the titles would have been defunct. But then under the new let's do it again. Under the new regime, Hunter's going to bring it back. He's just like me. He's a big athletic supporter for women's wrestling. So we are going to have women's tag team championships back in WWE. We will get to that. It started last night on Raw. But before we get there, John DeConnie, I guess the match that, we'll do the main event first. I know the U.S. title kind of set it up, but we're in Cleveland. It is somewhat Miz home territory, although the last time he was there, he wasn't really too nice to the faithful, and I'm pretty sure he was not wearing Browns colors to the ring against the Phenomenal One.
No, he specifically was wearing black and yellow, their number one rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that was definitely noted by the commentary team. But he had bigger things to worry about than the fans getting on him because he was standing across the ring from the Phenomenal One in a no DQ match, mind you. And not too deep into maybe about halfway into the match, went almost 13 minutes. So right around the midway point, Styles hits the Phenomenal forearm and a 1 and a 2, and Ciampa pulls the referee out mid count. Well, it's a no DQ match, so I guess you got to let that go. So AJ, goes after Ciampa a little bit. They wind up on the ring apron, and AJ kind of gives him a forearm shiver to knock him off the apron through the table that had been previously set up. So now Ciampa's out of the way for a while. He manages to hit, he goes for a second Phenomenal forearm, but the Miz meets him with a steel chair to the face. And then Miz manages to hit the skull-crushing finale, but AJ kicks out at 2. Miz goes for a figure 4. AJ shakes him or pushes him the minute he turns around. He kicks him in the keister, sends him into the corner where there's a chair wedged between 2 of the turnbuckles. And as he comes back out, AJ hits the Styles Clash for the 1, 2, 3. He gets the win over the Miz. And there's this obviously it wasn't exactly supposed to play out like this, but AJ's kind of, basking in the applause from the fans, and the announce team is kind of mumbling, and something's going on in the corner, and they finally pull the camera back far enough so you can see AJ, and you can see into the front row over there in that corner, and there's a police presence, quote unquote, and there's a figure, and they're roughing him up or holding him down, whatever. His head finally pops up, and his hoodie pops off. It's Dexter Loomis. He gets dragged out. There's not much said about it. I don't think the announce team ever actually calls him by name, but this segment ends awkwardly, but there's one more stone in the gauntlet for you.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, I did not know that was Dexter Loomis until this morning. Yeah. I couldn't see it. I saw Styles looking. I saw some of the crowd, and they just didn't acknowledge it. And they didn't acknowledge a couple things. Just like, actually, I have to rewind and put the blue screen back on for a second because I did not acknowledge our Intercontinental Champion. And the reason why Gary is actually on set right now is because Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Marcel Bartel. Oh, I'm sorry, Ludwig Borga, whatever his name. Ludwig Borga. So Nakamura has got he's going to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship this Friday night. Gary, we're very, very early into the Intercontinental Championship reign of Gunther, and we're very, very early into the Triple H reign version of Gunther. So,
yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where if Nakamura and Kaiser wanted to wrestle every week, everybody would be happy with that.
Yes,
I mean, because they were great, but I do think that Gunther's going to end up maybe not quite as long as he held the UK title, but I do think he's going to be holding it for a long. Like, it could easily be WrestleMania, but he's still holding that. In fact, you could see him coming out the Raw after WrestleMania and challenging whoever the champion is. But at that point, I'm making a big statement. So,
I'm Jonathan Connie. It's only 2 months away, so it really isn't that far fetched. If they still do Raw over SmackDown and we get Gunther and Lashley, that's going to be incredible.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. And if they're going to avoid my perfect storyline where Solo Sikoa comes up and grabs both of the mid-card titles, having one of them on Gunther and one of them on Bobby Lashley, I'm okay with that.
USA Network's complaining that they don't have a world champion right now. If they have a member of the Bloodline win the mid-card titles and then he stays on SmackDown too, like that's Dana Brooke's got a lot of work ahead of her. A lot of people are going to be gunning for Dana Brooke.
People are missing that 24/7 title. So
yeah. Apparently, I couldn't believe that. People are pissed off that Hunter's disregarding the 24/7 title. I don't get it. Anyway, so back on Raw. John DeConnie, I'm going to give this one to you. This was one to John Smith, but he had the power outage. Tommaso Ciampa, he dedicated the win, got a little ahead of himself, dedicated his win tonight, or last night, excuse me, and the United States Championship to his former trainer, Harley Race. He had the robe and everything. That was very vicious. Like, that was...
Yeah. I said going into the last big pay-per-view there that I thought that Bobby would retain against Theory because, if you're going to continue to have only one major champ and he's not going to spend a lot of his time on Raw, you want to elevate that mid-card title, and Bobby Lashley's exactly the guy to do that with. And so when Ciampa I was very excited to see Ciampa get this opportunity, but I said, there's no way. Then he invokes the name of Harley Race. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now things are a lot more interesting. Then he gets out of Lashley spears him. Miz helps him out by putting Ciampa's foot on the ropes. Okay. Styles appears, takes Miz out of the picture, although they would come scampering through the ring again a little while later, and somehow this match was allowed to continue. Then Ciampa runs Lashley into an exposed turnbuckle ring. He follows with that nasty running knee. Only gets a 2, but had me holding my breath for a second. He locks on the Gargano escape. He's got me holding my breath for a minute. Lashley rolls it over, picks him up, but Ciampa gets out of that as well. To the ropes, Lashley winds up on the outside. Ciampa catches him coming back in. Willow's bell only gets a 2. And at that point, I was like, I really would have bought Ciampa winning at that point. When the Willow's bell didn't get it done, it was only a matter of time. The Hurt Lock, the tappy, 13 minutes, and still your U.S. champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that was, I don't think you could add, it was, the only thing that was missing was, the fairy tale ending. Yeah. He couldn't get him up with the fairy tale ending, and he couldn't put him away with his secondary finishers. I don't mean to sound, Pedro, welcome to the big leagues, kid. These are the guys that you have to. These are the guys that you're in. And it was. He
welcome
shined.
to the big league.
Absolutely shined.
Who's older than you? I think.
When he was doing though, I thought the match was going to play out as it was, but once he started doing all the Harley Race stuff, I'm like, Miz is totally going to screw him over. Like, this is such a babyface thing to do. Like, Miz is never. I was shocked that the Miz didn't do anything. He actually was helping him. You don't have to. Damian Sandow. Alex Riley, all the way back to Alex Riley. You can't be friends with the Miz. It's really.
I was caught betwixt and between because was it going to be the Miz doesn't want to see him win that belt and be elevated, or was it going to wait till he helps him win the belt and then turn on him to try and take it away from him? Yeah. So that's the only reason why I thought that they might go through with the title change there, and they certainly made you. The psychology of the match was fantastic. They made you believe 3 different times he might get this done tonight.
Because of that, John DeConnie, I'll just fast over this one. Kevin Owens defeated Ezekiel. I have that as a win for Kevin Owens. I know you have the no contest, John DeConnie. I don't know what WWE's got. That was a referee stoppage win. Kevin Owens won the NXT championship like that. That's how he beat Sami Zayn and won the title. And that's how I have it, with a classic NXT powerbomb to the corner of the ring. Perfect. That's it. Kevin Owens, Shayna Baszler. Kind of unleashed. This is pretty. Now we got a pissed off Kevin Owens. They did a backstage interview with him afterwards. You wanted to remind everybody that Raw is still the Kevin Owens show. There was a car accident in the background. There was a car. I think rushing. As a fan, rushing to the ring was maybe half the reason why Loomis was getting pulled back, but they didn't mention it. There was, I think, Doudrop and Nikki Ash were down there checking it out, and then later, Bliss and Asuka, they did a promo with whatever. Yeah, that was. They just don't mention it. We're gonna do it. Just don't mention it. Don't mention it. He doesn't work here yet. Samuel Shaw, right? Is that his favorite? So yeah, so fun little. Just pay attention. Easter eggs is what they call them in the MCU. That's fun.
That's it.
Backstage, I jumped out of my chair for this, but I was excited about this one. Backstage, Edge approached the Mysterios, apologized for what happened the week prior, for accidentally spearing Dom Mysterio, and Dom's not letting it go. Dom's pissed. We have a pissed off, like piss and vinegar Dom Mysterio pushed Edge. And then Ray's like, yo, what is he doing? He's familia. He's friends for 20 years. Yeah, you've known me for 25. Why are you doing this guy? I was like,
that was a great line.
Dom Mysterio. Look at that. Gary. Ended up being, Ray had a match with Finn Balor. Yeah, your boy. You got better than I do. I should stop doing that. But actually asked Ray again, well, I'm going to help you. And no, Dom will show up. Don't worry about it. Dom will be there. And then they had the match.
Yeah. And Dom was there eventually. Or parts of him were. I always thought it was interesting that when the easy heat almost when you're wrestling Rey Mysterio is pretend that you're Eddie Guerrero. So when you had Finn Balor go for the three amigos and the crowd got up, and right as he was going for the third one, Ray reversed it, countered it, had his own suplex and his low drop kick, went for the 619 at one point. Priest managed to get Balor out of the way and Priest ate it. And then when Priest tried to interfere again and tripped him, that's when we had Edge coming out, and the two of them were brawling away. You had Ray with his code red for 2, Balor with a shotgun drop kick, and just as things were kicking in, out comes Rhea. And fair play to Rhea Ripley, carrying Dominic. It wasn't just, oh look, he appeared. She carried him for a good distance and then dropped him down and went, look at your boy. And as Ray was conflicted and looking at it, you had Finn hit the slop drop, in 1916. And then hits him with the coup de grace for the 1, 2, 3, and per Dominic in the middle of the aisle, and Ray in the ring crying. Doesn't get out of the ring to help him after, mind you, just sits in the ring and cries, but that's another story.
There's a lot of I think Rhea Ripley's having a little bit too much fun with Dom, because every guy's been saying, I wish Rhea would manhandle me like that. And I think Rhea's like, now let's do this to him next week. Let me pull it. Let's do this to him. Let's do this to him. Gary, you're getting back-to-back matches here, and Dolph Ziggler and Chad Gable. No story here, no story needed. They were in that triple threat match last week. I forget which part of it. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was Styles or Ciampa. But who the hell needs a story when you have these two guys just throwing them in there?
I know, exactly. And they've done a nice little job with bringing Dolph Ziggler back and making him a bit relevant when they came out. Yeah.
Hey, John.
When they came out, and you just looked, you just thought, oh yes, let's just let them go and say for about 6 minutes. By the chain wrestling at the start. Gable actually emulating Kurt Angle a few times during this. There were a few ankle locks and an attempt at an angle slam and so on. And told a good little story. And realistically, you had a couple of ankle locks in. Dolph Ziggler battled out. Couldn't quite hit the super kick because his ankle was too sore. Gable hit him with the powerbomb. Went for the angle slam, but Ziggler slipped out the back and managed to hit the super kick eventually for the win in about 6.5 minutes. So it's a lovely wee match, great wee match.
It was absolutely great, and it's just they did the chain wrestling exactly. They did like the amateur wrestling in the beginning. It reminded me a little bit of Angle Benoit 17, not because of the caliber of it, but it's because we'll do the Ziggler match. Like Dolph Ziggler, like the all-time winningest record at Kent State University. In Cleveland or in the Ohio area, he wore a Browns hoodie that was a Browns elf or whatever that the Browns wear. Ziggler is a phenomenal, and Gable was Olympic level. Like he was reversing everything at the drop of a hat, and he was just so much quicker than Dolph. It's amazing the caliber that you have. I have Dolph Ziggler, and it's the same as Benoit. Oh, that was a wrestling masterpiece. It really wasn't, though. Benoit's great, but the only reason why Benoit was ever on top of Angle on WrestleMania 17 is because Angle rolled Benoit. Like, he was so much faster than Benoit, and he just rolled him on top just to make it look better. Like, it's Olympian wrestling is just on a different level than anything NCAA, whatever. It was incredible. to see Chad Gable do what he did last night. He owned the match. He kicked Ziggler's ass for 5 minutes, and Ziggler got a super kick in. You know, that's how I looked at that. Ziggler, it was whatever, hometown crowd, fine. You know, the Miz lost, which is what they wanted anyway. But you know, and that's not a knock at Dolph Ziggler either. Like I said, Dolph Ziggler is an amazing amateur wrestler. Seth Rollins beat Montez Ford last week. He defeated Angelo Dawkins this week after missing 3 stomp attempts. Hits the pedigree for the win post-match. Got the stomp in anyway on the 4th attempt on Angelo Dawkins. Omos in a handicap match defeated In Action, or I guess in this case we call them Twin Action. Hey! It was 2 of them. After a double-handed choke slam. Next Monday night, we're going to have an exclusive interview with Riddle. Seth Rollins interviewed about this, and he wasn't happy. Riddle has something to say next week, and so will Seth. And then we get to the brackets. The women's championship, the tag team championships, they are back alive. Last night, we had the first round matchup, but it started. The match didn't start, but Bailey and Kai and Sky. Hold on, just so you know what I'm talking about, Kai and Sky. They did an in-ring promo to start the show. They came back to save the division. They have the hunger. Interrupted by Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair. No Lily. Lily got future endeavored. I didn't know. I didn't see anything. Potential semifinal matchup in the tournament, but we'll also get a 6-woman tag. We'll get the 3-on-3 at Clash at the Castle, which completely debunked my Becky Lynch winning to walk the aisle as Raw wrestled at SummerSlam to watch the aisle at Clash. And they started brawling again, which is awesome. Alexa Bliss did a dive off one of the barricades, which is fun. These 6 are just going at it, and I'm just loving absolutely every single second of it. The actual tournament, the first round of the tournament, Kai and Sky again. If you don't know who Kai and Sky are, Kai and Sky defeated Dana Brooke and Tamina after a running boot by Dakota, and then the moonsault by Io to advance to the semifinals of the tournament. Here are the brackets, as you can see, Io and Dakota already there. On the Raw side, next week we will get it's official. Alexa Bliss and Asuka will go against Gary's Scottish Super Warriors of Doudrop and Nikki ASH. And on the SmackDown side, we got Raquel Gonzalez teaming with Aaliyah. That's an interesting team. Xia Li and Shotzi, it's an interesting team. And Natalia and Sonya Deville, team of heels on the bottom. And then NXT's in this hat. Zoe Stark, Nikita Lyons from NXT. They're going to be in this. So we do not have an official announcement of which one on the right side of the brackets will be on Friday this SmackDown. So we'll just pick them both just for fun, and then we'll pick the other first round matchup for next week's Raw. So finish out, Gary, the first round. Give me the semifinalists here.
I don't hold out much hope for the Scottish superheroes. It has to be said. Although I will say, as far as Lily not being there, I don't know if she's been featured or endeavored, but apparently she's $3 million better off. And now on the other side, thank you. On the
we need to have you on more often. You need to start watching other shows so we don't start with WWE. We can get you on for Impact. Gary Happy, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
I don't yet. Not Nikita Lyon. I think we'll have Natalia and Sonya going through, and I would say let's go Xia Li and Shotzi as well.
All right. John DeConnie, by my count here,
yes.
Out of the 16 women, you have Tamina, you got both Io and Dakota, Alexa Bliss and Asuka, Nikki Ash, Raquel, Shotzi, Zoe Stark, and Natalia, all former tag team champions, whether it be in WWE or NXT.
Well, alrighty then.
10 of the 16.
Not bad. Okay, I'm going to agree with Gary on Alexa and Asuka getting through. I think I'm going to disagree on the other side of the bracket, though. I think Raquel will move through with Aaliyah. No offense to Aaliyah, but Raquel is moving through. And then that bottom right corner there really intrigues me because I always thought that they should have left the tag titles the way they were And remember, we got that tease that the tag titles were going to be defended down at NXT. You know, like, okay, you're not going to have as rich a women's roster, so let those tag titles travel to all 3 shows, including NXT. So I almost want to see the NXT team make it through the next round. So what the heck, I'm going to pick them. Zoe and Nikita.
Yeah, I'm okay. So I'll put the brackets back up. Yeah, Asuka and Alexa are locked. Sorry, Garrett. Raquel, here's the thing. I don't know how you do this with the right side of the bracket. For S's and G's, I'll go with Raquel Gonzalez, and I'm not going to bet against Sonya Deville. So those will be my 2 semifinalists. Sasha and Naomi, okay, I don't know if it's this round. Like I feel like they're going to be in the finals of this, whether they take out a team and enter themselves, that NXT team, that whatever, and you just give them there just so Sasha, or they can just jump the winners. Like they're not like, apparently after being socially distant with their autograph signings at Chicago Comic-Con this weekend, I can see them getting booed when they come back. Not to mention whatever, I don't think they're going to be coming back to, or maybe no, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen whenever they do come back.
I mean, it would be the way to make the NXT duo if they came back as if Naomi and Sasha came back as sort of heels, and if they managed to get them to the final and then they fixed it and they let them win and they said, yeah, we wanted you to win because you're the easy team, so we'll beat you, and then they have their match and the NXT to go over and kind of beat them. Now they could beat them later on down the line, but to kind of make a team overnight like that. But
see, I don't. Yeah, so it all depends. They need to have that NXT match after. It has to be next week. I think it has to be after Heatwave, because Zoe Stark has a huge match on Tuesday, next Tuesday at Heatwave, and you can't let her be jobbing, and you're not going to have Nikita Lyons job. I think it's Zoe. That team loses, it's got to be Zoe Stark taking the pin, and you can't have her lose before her match. So it's going to save her. So I'm assuming it's going to be Raquel and Aaliyah. That match will be up first this Friday, but we'll pass it. John DeConnie, you want to stay on for UK, John DeConnie?
Sure.
All right, let's stay on for the UK. Why not?
I might not have that much to say because I didn't watch it start to finish, but always good to be around.
It never stops me. It's all right.
No problem. We have to. This might not work out. All right, we'll go gray screen. There we go. We'll just put the shield up in the corner. Gary, we'll get to the world title situation at the end because we're going to be picking matches for that. But Blair Davenport kind of messed things up. We were supposed to have a huge NXT. I would say huge. It was supposed to have an NXT Women's Championship match. Japan on Japan violence is the best kind of violence there is in pro wrestling. They have a whole promotion that promotes it. Miko Satomura Sarai never happened. And Blair Davenport took responsibility for it. So she came out. And then let's see who it was. It was a Maul came out, and then Eliza Alexander came out, and then Isla Dawn ended up in the ring, and then here comes Sid Scala. Like, what the hell's going on? Okay, we'll have a one-on-one number one contenders match. That was 4 of them. Like, just the 2 that were in the ring. Like, if I'm a Maul and I'm Eliza, I'm pissed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it confused me, as I say. The results are out and the tapings are done, and I didn't look at any results, and I didn't know what was happening. I had heard one thing about this taping, which we'll come to later on. And as I sat and went, huh? They're not having the match? What? And actually, when Blair came out, I thought, oh, okay, triple threat. And I was like, what? Oh, no, hang on. No, it's not. And as you say, why all of a sudden Isla Dawn should get the almost preferential treatment? I'm not sure as over the other 2. But I don't know. And then again, to have a bit of a schmoz at the end. Obviously, it looks like we're going to have a 4-way, and the 4-way winner of that 4-way will likely face the winner of, I'm assuming, Sarai and Mako will happen. But
yeah, I had it down. I don't think they announced the winner. Technically, I guess it should have been a disqualification victory for Blair Davenport. But yeah, a brawl ensued.
I think they're still fighting now. They've been going for a week.
There's a theme going here. Women's is just brawling everywhere. It's been amazing. So I guess there's got to be a fatal 4-way down the line. And it was an Island Dawn hit a Meteora. Blair was down. Eliza pulled off Isla from the cover, and then hell broke loose. So, Chase U made their way to the UK Performance Center after some sightseeing, where Shaw Samuels is outside looking homeless. Bodie tried to lift his spirits, and Shaw didn't take too kind to it. So Shaw Samuels, he was panhandling on his way to the ring, which was hysterical. And they had the match.
Yeah, that pre-match, I did laugh. Shaw Samuels has been brilliant in this. And to see him outside and then to see him begging, you could see fans absolutely laughing and going, "This is great, well done." I was shocked. I was pleased to see that he pulled it off and that he beat Bodie, but I have to say I was shocked. I figured that he wouldn't. And it was a good bit of back and forward, finishing obviously with the spine buster from Shaw to take the win. And it was a story that could have gone either way. If he lost, you could have went, well, okay, you still lost. But now that he's won, you can say, right, I'm back. And probably what he'll do, I would imagine, is he'll go, "I'm back, forget you, Bodie Hayward, give me Andre Chase," and then he'll lose that one. So
that was the first time I've seen Bodie in the ring. I don't watch Level Up.
Yeah.
He looked good. Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make fun of Shaw Samuels too much for panhandling, because there's going to come a point in time where we're going to be asking for super chat donations on this show. We're going to be doing the exact same thing. We're going to be putting our hats out like, "Hey, pay us to sit here and dance like monkeys for you." So, yeah, big win for Shaw. Good for him. He needs the payday, right? Potential match. This one is not official. Potential match coming up. Tia Hale was talking about Chase U, choosing Chase U over Cambridge, amongst other schools. Was interrupted by Eliza Alexander, who's tired of us Americans coming over. I believe Shaw called us Yanks. I find that offensive. Yeah. I'm a Mets fan. She wants to make an example out of Tia. So the potential, we have 2 tournament matches. We'll get to those next. I'm assuming they're going to sandwich it. They usually have one women's division match in between. So we'll just play Let's Pretend here. John DeConnie, we'll start with you. We have Chase U's Tia Hale going against Eliza Alexander, whose best friend happens to be
Yeah, I mean, otherwise I would say, because we haven't really seen Thea wrestle yet. I mean, have we seen her yet? I know she joined that
Level Up, I think.
Yeah, she joined that tag match to try and help out Andre Chase, and then did absolutely nothing to actually help out.
Yeah.
So I would say she probably should get the win here, but I feel like she's going to be outnumbered. You know, Eliza's going to have someone there to help her out. So I'm going to say Thea Hale does not get the victory here.
Yeah, Gary, Zaya, I said they were best friends, and they were tag teams for a hot second there. She was nowhere to be found, either backstage with the altercation with Tia Hale, or at the end when Eliza was, in the midst of the title feud. So I know Zaya just got engaged. I'm still talking to my therapist about it. I'm still getting over it, but maybe Zaya's off TV for a little bit to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could see. I'm sort of with John on this one of going. Every time someone wants me next year on, I go, "Oh yeah, they probably could do with the win." But whether you have Zaya coming back and getting involved or doing something and costing it to her, so I think I'm with John. It's like Thea Hale should win, but I don't know that she will.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eliza too. It's especially if she's gonna be in a number 1 contenders match coming up, she's got to win this, right? I mean, they're also gonna add Tia Hale to it. We got a fatal 5-way, which would be fun. We'll just have everybody in the division go. Let's go. But unbeknownst to me, Gar, I don't know if something got leaked overseas. The show started with our UK champion on crutches. He was injured, his ankle against Wolfgang, and they showed the replay of that injury. Freak accident. It's like it was almost he got thrown into the corner, and his own body weight like squished his ankle with the turnbuckle. It was a really weird situation. But he can't compete to defend his title. He must relinquish. And he fought with his soul to be UK champion. I thought it was fun with the UK crowd chanting "undefeated" as he put the title in the middle of the match. So that was fun. He's like, that's it for him. What else does he have to do in UK? He's the guy who beat Walter, and he never lost the title. Like, that's it. Like, what else more do you need on a resume here? So we have the brackets coming up. I'll get to them in a second. Actually, I'll just get to them now. I'll throw them up there. In 2 weeks, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, I believe it's the 18th, we're going to get Mark Andrews and Joe Coffey, that side, and then we're going to get Kenny Williams and Tyler Bate. Oh, Tyler Bate's covered right now. I knew I forgot to do something. You got Tyler. There's Tyler. So the right side of the bracket will be next Thursday. This Thursday coming up. First, we got to go. We'll rewind for a second. Oliver Carter defeated Rohan Raj after a spin kick in the corner. Immediately jumped by De Familia post-match with Dempsey doing most of the damage. Tealman was talking trash about beating down Oliver Carter. He was interrupted by Sam Gradwell. So we're going to get Tealman and Sam Gradwell at some point. That could be this week, too. There's no date on that yet. Saying Tealman is only tough when his mates are around. But then out of the trainer's room, here comes Oliver Carter. He was told that he was in the tournament, got excited, but then he said he's got his match next week right off the bat, and it's going to be with Charlie Dempsey. So we got it's not 100% Oliver Carter, Gary, going against a guy that's going to tie him into a pretzel. Like, it's really...
Yeah. I mean, I just rewind for 2 seconds. Every time I see NXT spoilers, NXT results, NXT, I avoid them. And I was flicking through the Wrestling Observer site one day, looking just through some other stuff, and there's a headline in the middle. It was like NXT UK title, sort of like whatever, relinquished or whatever way they put it. It's like tournament happening, and it's like, oh no. So I didn't see who was in the tournament. This tournament, when you look at the brackets, could go any way based on both sides. You could end up easily with Trent Seven and Tyler Bate against each other in the final, or you could end up with Wolfgang against Joe Coffey in the final.
Yeah.
You really could go, and every match could go any way. It's going to be one of these ones because, like, Oliver Carter is 2 for 2 against De Familia, but yeah, as you say, he's going into it injured. Does he take the win over Charlie Dempsey? I think that he will. I'm going to go Oliver Carter. If I'm picking the semis the whole way through, I'm going to go Oliver Carter and Trent to win, and Tyler Bate and Joe Coffey to win.
All right, yeah, so we got those 2 matches to talk about next week. So you feel free to have a week to change your pick. So you got okay. John DeConnie. I did some math on this one.
Oh.
If the part of round 1 is this Thursday, the other part of round 1 is next Thursday. Do one semifinal match the following Thursday, the other semifinal match the following Thursday.
Clash.
That leads to a tournament final potentially at the Clash of the Champions. Like, this is actually adding up. If they want to do it,
do it.
I've heard it's not going to happen.
All right, Gary, thank you so much for joining us today. Negative bastards.
Or am I just having a wee laugh there?
Gary's running all of them. But, like, how awesome is he? You have the opportunity, if you really want, you got any one of these guys. I'll put the brackets up one last time since I have the thing down because I got to do my picks anyway. You can have Trent Seven and Tyler Bate for the vacated championship, and that outdoor stadium, that soccer pitch would go nuts.
Yeah.
Or even if it was Joe Coffey versus Charlie Dempsey. If Bate and Seven some way screw themselves out of the tournament.
Yeah.
You got Charlie Dempsey and Joe Coffey for the vacated NXT UK championship. At that place would go BS. Would go bonkers. I'm sure that's what the B stands for, and BS is bonkers, right, John McCann?
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I use it, sure. Yeah, but I mean,
that's how the Shillelaghs out.
Yeah, there's so many ways you can go there that is absolutely pay-per-view worthy when you get to the end of it. I'm going to go with Dempsey because, like you said, I think he can tie Oliver Carter in knots. And, is it just as simple as it's going to be Bate versus Seven? I'm definitely picking them both to go through the first round. So give me Seven's on that side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Take Joe Coffey as well.
There you go.
All right, Gary, we have 2 big championship matches this week for points. We have Chris Jericho. Happy anniversary, Chris Jericho. Today was the day John DeConnie I was talking about. I watched the video again today. of Jericho debuting back in 1999 in WWE, and the goosebumps when the Jericho flashes across the Titantron, and he's just like, it's just the pop. Unbelievable. So that was a great moment in WWE history. But Chris Jericho, 2022, Lionheart Chris Jericho will be challenging the interim world champion, Jon Moxley. And then on Friday night, we got Alex Shelley, his first ever world championship match. He's going to be challenging Josh Alexander. So, plus amongst other matches, anything stick out? Any predictions that you want to give us before we get out of here?
No, I think they're both gonna stick. I'm gonna go for Moxley to win and for Josh Alexander to win. So I will be going for those. But
we have new Knockouts Tag Team Champions, right? Vex is going to get this done.
have to go and make my picks. I have to go and make my picks and then send them my invoice because from a double time this week or triple time.
Yeah. Send in the invoice for that. And plus, if you want to save me a favor and write an article, that would help me. So I got to do an article tomorrow morning for the Quake by the Lake show. Gary, thank you so much for coming on overtime with us again. We appreciate it, and staying up late as always. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I'm actually waiting on John Smith being. It's in my head about the Monty Python sketch, like the Spanish Inquisition, when they keep coming in at the end of all the stuff. I keep waiting, just as John DeConte's finishing off at the end and wishing everybody the best in their future endeavors. In comes John Smith to go, nobody stops me brushing my beard.
Oh my God, John Smith has had perfect attendance. He's probably missed maybe 4 shows in the past 100 and what are we on 13? This was not one that he wanted to miss. Hey, get the hell out of my square. Gary, I'm gonna get him out. There you go. We'll get you out of there right now, Gary. Thanks for joining us, pal. We'll see you next week.
See you later.
Enjoy the tournament. Oh, and then there were 2, John DeConte. And there were 2.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna make that oh so sweet seamless transition from NXT UK to NXT stateside.
Yeah.
And where did my notes go for that? I think I accidentally took them off. There we go. So, John DeConte, the show opened with the main event. The show opened with a match, an outcome I've personally been waiting for. And we said it last week, if not now, when, because it wasn't going to happen. And it finally did. Thank freaking God. I spy another Jersey champion. Go get him.
Yes, indeed. So what we had was, if you're not remembering from last week, we had a fatal 4-way elimination women's tag team match for the vacated women's tag team champions. You had Katana Chance, Kaden Carter. You had Yulisa Leone and Valentina Feroz, Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley, and the ever-present and ever-annoying Toxic Attraction. The whole match went a little over 12 minutes. Paxley, a very interesting first elimination. Paxley had Feroz on her shoulders in the electric chair, kind of dropped her forward out of the electric chair into a gut punch by Ivy Nile. I guess when you come from the Diamond Mine Dojo, that's a finishing maneuver. So 1, 2, 3. Out of there for the 2 ladies that you probably were pretty sure were going to be the first ones eliminated. No offense. Then you had Kaden Carter hit a Death Valley driver on Paxley, but JC Jane made a blind tag and stole the cover to eliminate those 2. Then you had Carter kick out of an O'Connor roll, sending JC Jane to the ropes where Katana was on the floor. She got nice height for a tiny little gal to kick her right in the head, which put her right back in Carter's arms. Carter set her up for the neck breaker. Katana finishes with that 450 splash, and 1, 2, 3, your new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. About damn time.
About damn time. Gave her a shout out on Twitter. She liked it, the post, whatever. That's 2 right now. We got Liv, we got Casey. We have a 3rd on Friday. We'll get to that though. Let's see what happens on Friday. It was Carmelo Hayes' birthday, so he decided to do an open challenge, and the first one that gets into the ring got the title match. Here comes Giovanni Vici, and as he was posing, which are hysterical, I see Nathan Frazier come flying down the aisle after him. Frazier goes flying in there. Frazier, there you go. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down the aisle goes Frazier. Right, that's how it went. Now.
Good stuff.
But Carmelo Hayes got the win over Nathan Frazier. The collision outside the ring that caused Giovanni Vici stayed on ringside doing commentary. His drink was spilled on him. Vinci pushed Frazier off the top rope, allowing Hayes to climb and hit the Sicilian slice to retain the North American Championship. So Carmelo Hayes still going on to his winning ways. Then John DeConn, the show actually main evented. We had a Falls Count Anywhere match. It was a lot of fun. These two, the street champ and then the guy who was saying he was a street champ.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so Solo Sikoa and Von Wagner finally got to go at it. I don't want to say under normal rules because it was Falls Count Anywhere, but at least nobody was getting jumped this time. So they were going to beat each other all around the building, and of course they did. The match went about 12 and a half minutes, and it ended with an Uso splash from the top buckle out onto the announce desk on Wagner. Announce desk explodes.
Yeah.
And in the shrapnel left, because it was Falls Count Anywhere, we get the 1, 2, 3 right there at the feet of Vic and Wade Barrett. And Solo Sikoa takes back his street title from the Punk, who jumped him in the street a couple weeks ago.
That son of a Beverly. There was a Heatwave Summit last week. It was a contract signing with Braun Breaker and JD McDonough. JD sees the fire in Braun, and he can't wait to stomp it out. Braun Breaker says everyone has a plan against him until Braun runs through them. John, JD pricked his finger, signed the contract in blood. Kind of a power move right there. That was pretty tough. That was pretty tough
Yep.
by the Irish Chase.
Yeah, it was an apropos follow-up to taking a headbutt to the face last week and having a little blood in his mouth and finding a reason to smile about it. So McDonough's, he's not going to get bowled over by Braun.
No. Alba Fire defeated Lash Legend after a gory bomb followed by the Swanton. So I think that feud's finally over. Alba can go on to bigger and better things. Tiffany Stratton went full gymnast on us in a video. She's not happy about losing the Battle Royal and doesn't care that Wendy Chu is about to go full Su Yung on her ass. Like, this is going to be, I can't wait for this. I hope it's tonight. I don't want to wait anymore.
I know.
Get Xia Li back. Mei Ying. Mei Ying. And Tiffany Stratton she's going to embarrass. It's going to be, and Tiffany Stratton's going to play her part. Like, she's going to get her ass kicked. She's going to be scared. She's going to try to run. It's going to be great.
I hope Wendy lays a kiss on her so she gets some of that kabuki makeup on her face, and Stratton goes crazy over that too. I mean, there's just so much good stuff that could come out of that.
And I'd like to thank, again, Triple H for watching the show. Appreciate it. I know he's a fan of the show. You heard my gripe a couple of weeks ago about this character, and just thank God. Like, I'm ready for Mei Ying to just unleash Mei Ying. There we go. Check one up for her, for another one for her. There was an interview with Axiom, which was interrupted by Duke Hudson, John DeConnie, who called Axiom a nerd, then proceeded to beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, he slapped the taste out of his mouth right then and there, and Axiom kind of took a step back, and then Hudson went like, "No, I'm not done with you." Started beating the hell out of him, beat him all the way to the ring, and then and once he hit, I don't know if he's got a different name for it, but basically it's the Winds of Change, and dropped him in the middle of the ring. Hudson grabs a microphone and basically told everybody else, just remember, kids, your heroes will always let you down. And he thought he was done with things. He was on his way out of there. Axiom said, no. You beat me all around the building. We're here in the ring now. Let's have a match. I want to prove myself. Well, it didn't go very long. Just a little over 2 minutes. But Axiom at one point went for what started out looking like a head scissor, what transitioned into looking like a tornado DDT. And then that dude just kept spinning around, and we wound up with just your average schoolboy roll up for the 1, 2, 3, and Axiom checks the box and really pisses off Duke Hudson and gets the win.
That was one of the pretty raw roll-ups I've seen. That was good. That was a lot of fun. Joe Gacy defeated Brooks Jensen after Pretty Deadly ran in. Pretty Deadly's awesome. They need to be main roster now. Pretty Deadly run in, and Gacy hit a handspring clothesline. Message for Cameron Grimes post-match that Gacy can be the light that Cameron Grimes needs to guide Cameron Grimes. Right? As we said, Mandy Rose in a non-title match. She defeated rough week for Sarai. She got jumped. She lost this match after a jumping kick. Post-match attack by Mandy Rose. Got Sarai with a chair shot before it was thwarted by Zoe Stark. But then she got jumped in UK. So Sarai had a rough week, especially with all that travel time too, going from Orlando to London.
Gotta be rough.
Yep. That whole flight, you don't even get the match either. That sucks. There was a video package with Roxanne Perez, who's pissed, wants to finish this at Heatwave. Interview with Cora Jade right after. Declined the challenge. Mandy Rose interrupted Cora, asking to make a deal, take out Zoe Stark, and then Cora will be the one facing Mandy at Heatwave. Since Cora Jade was the last person in the Battle Royal, so I guess there's a pecking order.
Sure.
So Cora thought about it, and I guess that match is going to happen. We're going to get Zoe Stark versus Cora Jade this week, John DeConnie. Who do you got?
Something tells me Roxy's going to have her say here, and not that Zoe couldn't win this one straight up, but I think she might get a little help, even if it's just in Roxy showing up, and that takes Cora's attention for a second, because moving forward, it just makes a lot of sense. Zoe gets that title shot that we thought she was going to get, and Roxy and Cora wind up at Heatwave.
Yeah, something's got to happen to piss off Cora Jade enough to accept this. So, yeah, it's going to be interference from Roxanne. Or could just be, there's no title, whatever. It could just be Roxanne just interrupting. There might not be, it'd be disqualification win for Zoe. Just run in the ring and just start beating the crap out of her, like in the middle of the match. Like, let them go like 7-8 minutes and then just. Nikita Lyons saw Kiana James's PowerPoint presentation. Talk dirty to me, girl. And she won't change for anybody. So they're going to get out. We have 2 women's matches this week. They're going to get out of it this week. Kiana James, Nikita Lyons. Both of the women's, like Nikita and Zoe, a big week for them. They got singles matches tonight, and then they got to go to SmackDown Friday. Oh, I'm sorry. That'll probably be next Friday. That would be next week.
Yeah. Either way, I think both of them stay strong here. So I'm going to say Nikita. Sorry, Kiana James.
Yep.
Can't wait to see you perform, but I don't see it working out well for you.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Enough of the insults and the trash talk. Wesley wants Trick Williams in a British rounds match. We've seen, there's a whole division of it. There's a champion over in the UK that Noam Dar pretty much carried on his back. So we're going to do 6 rounds. It's more of the boxing thing in this feud than it is about being a British rounds match. But 3-minute rounds. You need 2 falls to win. If you get disqualified, you automatically use. If you knock your opponent out, you automatically win. I only think we've seen that once. And I think it was like the second or third match. It was on the original Heritage Cup tournament. I want to say it was Bomber Dave Mastiff did it. Somebody knocked out somebody. But so we're going to go British rounds style between Wesley and a guy who's, I guess, mocking Muhammad Ali and posing like, I'm not going to say mocking him, but like mimicking. That's what I was looking for. There was him in there.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely the perfect setup, because I don't think Trick is probably ready to work a 12-minute match with Wesley, which Wesley could do in his sleep. So this gives them a little break in between rounds, and they get to kind of refer to the boxing gimmick that apparently he has in his background. I'm assuming that's why we're
I guess
doing all this. But I think Wesley gets it done here because it's meant perfect. I think he's gonna shine here. I think it's gonna be like just like the Heritage Cup is over there. It lets the smaller guys really shine.
Yeah, Trick got the win at the Great American Bash. Wesley's gonna get this one, and I think I called it last week. And I was gonna say it again just for the new viewers watching. Wesley, I had the one beating Carmelo Hayes. Wesley's gonna be North American champion. Fun, maybe little prediction here. I don't know. Sometimes they have corner guy. Like Carmelo Hayes is going to be Trick Williams' corner man. Does Nash come back? Do we get Nash Carter? Or is it still too soon with that? Is it still?
I think it might be a little too soon for that. Well, the Nature Boy had to wait almost a year to get his woo back in the opening or what have you. So,
well, I guess maybe I should hope it's not, because if he comes out, then they go right back into the tag division, and that kind of ruins the whole North American title for Wesley. Yeah, let's get Nash out of this. Apollo Crews told the Creeds to keep their eyes open. Not everything is what it seems. And then right following that, Damon Kemp, after Cruz walks away, Damon Kemp comes in to talk to the Creeds. Oh, yeah, Roddy's not here yet.
But don't worry, he'll get there.
So they had the tag team championship match against D'Angelo and Stax. The Creed brothers retained after Santos Escobar returned. I was wondering, I couldn't remember what happened to him. Should have asked that last week. Would have been a fun little prediction. But I forgot Santos was injured or whatever. But Santos Escobar returned to swerve Tony D, allowing Julius to hit his finishing sequence. Legato reformed, but they're still under the D'Angelo family, right? Well, I guess they had a phone call. I like how these two talk to each other on the cell phone as promos, whatever. I think it's funny. They're going to have one final accord. Probably be the main event of tonight. One last match to settle it all. Santos Escobar and Tony Biscuit.
Yeah, and this is supposed to be just them. None of their buddies, none of their henchmen, none of their madrinas, if you will. So if Santos doesn't come out on top at the end of this, I'm going to be so pissed. But I would not be surprised to see the younger guy, if you will, go over. But I'm going to be rooting and counting on Santos. And I don't know what they've got up their sleeve next. I've enjoyed this all the way through, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. So I'm assuming we're going to get more goodness tonight. But give me Santos if physicality comes out of it.
Yeah, the only way I see Santos losing this is if I almost did push-ups there. Cruz or Joaquin swerve him or Electus. I just don't see that. I don't see them swerving Santos to join Tony D. It's just, I don't know. So I got Santos as well. Yeah, Santos called Tony D to check it out on his yaw. Oh, boy. Anyway, so now we'll go from NXT. We're going to go to AEW. AEW had a busy week. 3 shows last week. They had Dynamite, obviously, and then Rampage, and then Battle of the Belts. Rampage, the only thing that wasn't really related to Battle of the Belts, Rampage, Ricky Starks was approached by the Factory, offering to help Ricky Starks against Powerhouse Hobbs. And Starks, knowing that the Factory gets one TV appearance every 6 months, declined their help. So he said, no, thanks, but no thanks. So Ricky Starks, was it Camarado? He was yelling, he was barking at Camarado, I think, he was like, I really don't like you. I don't know, something against history.
That's something about his goofy outfit, I think.
Yeah, everything else kind of laid into Battle of the Belts. At Battle of the Belts, Claudio Castagnoli defeated Takeshita with the Ricola Bomb to retain the Ring of Honor Championship. Thunder Rosa defeated Jamie Hayter with the Raw Roll-Up to retain the AEW Women's Championship. Check one for Thunder. And then Warlord defeated Jay Lethal with a Power Bomb to retain the AEW TNT title. So we go. Oh, I should have changed the bottom banner too. So we're going to go right into Dynamite, which will lead right into Quake by the Lake, I guess. The Undisputed Era. I'm sorry, excuse me. Push-ups for me. The Undisputed Elite is back. Adam Cole still not medically cleared. Kyle O'Reilly still not medically cleared. But you can't have the Young Bucks going into the Trios tournament as bad guys and as members of the Undisputed Elite unless Adam Cole jumps them. So it was also people reminding, this is payback from when the Young Bucks kicked Adam Cole out of the Bullet Club all those years ago, which they did, and Adam Cole went to NXT. That is tradition. When you're leaving to go to another company, you get kicked out unceremoniously. But he told the Bucks they can't compete in the tournament trios and then jumped them. Hangman Page out to thwart the attack. Helped Matt back to his feet as John Silver begins to cry. Like, what are we doing with this? John said they didn't show that on screen. I'm making a joke that the Dark Order is probably like, what the hell is going on right now? Yeah. Like what? They just really just throwing darts with Adam Page right now. Like, what is?
I think the problem is, and this is totally speculation, but if Kenny's not ready to come back, then they need Hangman because they'd rather have the Elite versus the Elite than have him over there with the Dark Order, which would have made things even that much more fun if you could have had Elite versus Elite and Hangman outside of it. But
yeah,
what are you going to do? Things are what they are.
The match that we played with the sign, the match that we played in No Mercy way back in 2000. Christian Cage defeated Matt Hardy after Matt crashed and burned through a table, allowing Christian to hit the kill switch. Post-match concerto attempt thwarted by Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, even though Jungle Boy was ejected from the building for trying to run over Christian with his car earlier in the night.
That was an interesting segment.
Yeah, Jungle Boy's pretty pissed off, huh?
Apparently so.
Yeah. The Acclaim defeated the Gun Club in a dumpster match. Post-match, they rolled the dumpster off the stage. Missed opportunity by Max Caster. I don't think he does this. I think he should have done it. He did the mic drop off the entrance tunnels through a table that won the match. He's got to start mic dropping before he does the mic drop.
Yeah.
Drop an invisible mic. Boom.
That's it.
That would have been. I guess it's tough. You've been jumping off something high onto a table. It's tougher, right? Mic drop and then drop the elbow. So Max Caster, a little constructive criticism. I know you're a fan of the show. I'm sure you're watching and taking notes. Daniel Garcia, now known as the Dragon Slayer, says if Bryan Danielson wants some more, Garcia will submit him again. If I were Daniel Garcia, I would get the hell out of this feud as quick as possible and just, got him done. That's it, one and done.
It's on the resume, and I will eat off that for years.
Yep, that's it. Go do something else. Yeah. Sami and Ty Conti, they got married. Eddie Kingston doesn't care. He wants Sami at All Out. So we're going right past the Quake, and we're going right past Grand Slam's after. Labor Day weekend. It's only 4 weeks away. I guess we're gonna start getting some all out matches getting booked at some point after this week. So look for Eddie and Sammy Guevara to be one of them. I still can't understand what the hell Miro's saying. Can you translate? I have no idea what he's saying. I have no idea what he's doing. He sounds confused.
A couple weeks ago he asked his God whether or not he put the House of Black in front of him to whatever it was, torture him or to recruit him. Alistair push-ups again. Malachi Black told him, I can put you, you've been bowing to the throne for years. I can put you on that throne. And Miro came back again and said, he asked his God, who can I trust? I don't know. But in the end, I know all people will be, everyone's motives will be revealed, including those of the Redeemer.
Taz is officially done with Team Taz. He kind of lost control last week. He didn't know Ricky Starks was going to do a double title defense. He didn't know Hook was going to answer the second challenge. And he didn't know Powerhouse Hobbs was going to jump. Taz has just lost it, and he wants to wash his hands of it and just stay on the commentary table. So Team Taz is no more. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated in action right after that post-match attack by Ricky Starks, which didn't work out well. Which is why the factory was offering to give him some help, as I mentioned earlier. But I thought Starks actually had an injury. I thought they were just getting him off TV for a little bit. But it looks like Ricky Starks is still ready to go. He mentioned he has been holding his neck. He mentioned he had to straighten it out a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Here I am thinking, going to do that. Ethan Page in-ring promo. He deserves better. Stokely Hathaway gave Ethan a business card, and Ethan went right with him. So what we thought was maybe somewhat of a shoot a week and a half ago on Rampage when he says, I hate this place. I guess maybe Scorpio Sky's injured, American Top Team not around anymore. I don't know. Yeah, Ethan Page kind of lost in limbo.
Yeah, Lambert doesn't have any room in his schedule these days. He's too busy training people down at ATT.
So that will do it for the Dynamite. Everything else leading into Quake by the Lake. Here are the overall standings. John Nakani in attendance has a 2-point lead over some guy named Brian Roy. I'm right behind him with Beavis Reverence. Right behind me, John Smith, Gary Mehaffy there at the bottom. Brian Roy is currently leading the AEW standings right now. What was that, 16 points? Yep. Over you, John Nakani. Gary in third. I'm right behind Gary. John and Beavis down at the bottom. The scoring for Quake by the Lake, 5 points for AEW title match. 3 points for all their title matches, 1 point for the non-title. If you go perfect, you hit the heading, you get 5 bonus points.
Yeah.
We have a tornado match. And I want to call it, I'm typing in a tornado tag team match. There's no tagging in a tornado match. Yeah. So it's just a tornado team match. We have the Lucha Brothers against Andrade, El Idolo, and Rush Lee. Ingobernables, something. What's their?
Yeah, they were Los Ingobernables, but I think those two in particular are La Facción in yeah, whatever. It's a singular when it's just the two of them.
Gotcha.
My Spanish, no good.
No, mira, español poquito.
Yeah, give me oh Jesus, it's I feel like Andrade and Rush should probably win this, but I also can't pick against the Lucha Brothers, especially if this is going to be a tornado grudge match. This is going to be insane. So give me the Lucha Bros.
And the only way I'm going to pick Andrade and Rush, and the only way to beat the Lucha Brothers is to pull one of their masks off and then roll them up. And that's really
pretty much.
You got to get a count on that. That happens every single freaking time they lose. It's really annoying. Like they can take a loss another way. Like, stop taking the losses off. It's done. Anyway, but yeah, should be a fun match. Other than that, I mean, that match is going to be incredible, especially if there's no tags and the four of them just flying around and do whatever.
It's definitely a winner is you moment.
Yeah, that's a great. We haven't done this in a while. Good call.
Yeah.
Madison Rayne defeated Madison Rayne, hired by AEW. She's going to be one of their head trainers. I guess she's got the experience. Sure. She's going to be wrestling as well. She defeated Leila Gray.
Yeah.
Post-match, Jade Cargill came down. She's that bitch. She invited Madison to be the challenger. It was originally supposed to be an open challenge on Wednesday night for the TBS Championship, but Jade offered the invitation to Madison Rayne. So we're getting Jade and Madison Rayne for the TBS title tomorrow night.
Yeah, this one, they brought her in to be a coach, if you will, and I guess the idea was, hey, let's see if you can drag a good match out of a couple of gals who are a little green. First one, I'm pretty sure Madison's going to tell you didn't go over as well as she had hoped. It was a little bit sloppy. I think she'll have a better match with Jade because Jade seems to be getting a little better every time we see her. And I think between the two of them, they should put on a really good match. But I think Jade will continue to be your TBS champion and continue to be undefeated.
Yeah. Yep. Darby Allin went to Tony Khan's. Darby Allin, see, I feel like this is a little out of character. Darby Allin was the one that went to Tony Khan and said, bring in Brody King. You need this guy. So he came down out of the rafters. Hey, Sting, give me 5 seconds. I gotta go talk to TK real quick. My buddy Brody. That doesn't make sense. I don't know why. Anyway, Darby Allin went to TK saying that you got to bring Brody King. Something about that doesn't sound right. Tattooed himself while giving the promo. It was tough. And then Brody King actually has, I think, a coffin. Rest in peace, Brody. Rest in peace, Darby. He got tattooed. So these guys are tattooing themselves in the sake of the others. So apparently this rivalry runs pretty deep, and they're going to have the coffin match tomorrow night. And coffin.
and Darby told Brody to remember, when it comes right down to it, you were the one that asked for this, and it's Darby's signature match. So I'm going to assume, although once again there's not a snowball's chance in hell that Brody should lose to Darby, I'm gonna say Darby gets it done here.
So, yeah, something Brody can beat him straight up. If this is his match, like how do you? I mean, I know the Undertaker, it's his match, and I know he's lost coffin matches, but it's been by hook or crook. I guess it's a 3-on-1. I don't know. I mean, Sting's not going to fend off Malachi. Buddy Matthews has been AWOL too recently. I don't know.
Where is he injured or something? Because it's odd that he hasn't even been able to walk on screen for a promo the last couple times.
Yeah, and where the hell's Julia Hart been?
Yeah, what the hell?
So if this stays 1-on-1, I mean, it still doesn't favor Darby, but the fact that it's a coffin match and you don't have to pin the guy, I guess we'll just do that then. Chris Jericho last week actually put his number one contendership on the line against Wheeler Yuta. He got the win after a Lion Tamer because he's going to be a Lionheart, right? So you got to start winning these matches with the Lion Tamer. Got to remind us. Jericho wouldn't let go until Moxley came out to chase him off. Jericho on the mic. Mox wants the Lionheart. He's got him, and then the Lionheart is going to stretch the bleep out of Mox and guaranteed he was going to win. So Jericho's going Mark Messier. Jericho's going Joe Namath, guaranteeing victory. John Moxley had a match last Friday on Rampage against Mance Warner. And the reason why he fought Mance Warner is because I guess Mance Warner on Ric Flair's last match spectacle, he won a battle royal to earn a eliminator. It wasn't for the championship. It was an eliminator match. It wasn't like, hell would have froze over. But Mance was fighting for a shot.
I thought it was all just for the boot and the belt buckle, but apparently, yeah, he got a shot here.
Yep.
And Jericho has looked great recently. He's kind of had a little bit of a physical transformation. He's gotten himself back into primo shape. But I don't see them letting him beat Moxley here. As we've discussed previously, I just assume Mox is going to hold it until Punk gets back. So, as much as it pains me, give me Mox retaining here.
I want to do Jericho. Because what are they going to do it all out? Can they hot potato this for a month and get it back to Moxley it all out?
I suppose
you get the feeling it's going to come down to Mox and Punk. That's what everybody wants to see, and that's what they set it up for. Punk's still got a long time to go. Yeah. So can you hot potato this? Like, if Jericho's guaranteeing, and then you have a huge pay-per-view coming up, you just have it, because it's not WWE. What WWE would do is have a disqualification or some type of BS ending here, and then have the payoff at, listen to me talk wrestling, the payoff at All Out. I hate those buzzwords. I hate saying it.
I know. Every time I start to utter one, I'm my own butthole.
Yeah, but they just you do the rematch at All Out and then have Moxley win that and the feud's over. So, but AEW doesn't do that. AEW would have to do the title change in order to have the rematch.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what my thought is on it. Like, no matter what really interesting match they put in front of us with Mox, I feel like they worry that bouncing around the interim title would take away from the fact that it's already a step below because it's interim. Yeah. Now if you're bouncing it around, that kind of takes away from it again. So for that reason, I don't think that they would do it. I would certainly love it. I'd totally be on board to see Chris Jericho, your 2-time champion, but I just don't see it happen.
No, I figured it out. No, it's Moxley. We forget that Chris Jericho is a modern-day Mick Foley. Many faces of Jericho. We're getting the Lionheart tomorrow night. Painmaker's undefeated. We could have some type of no-holds-barred bloodbath at All Out with the Painmaker, or some version of Jericho. He's a sports entertainer now. He can play all these different characters, right? He's a wizard.
He is a wizard.
Yeah, it's Moxley tonight, and then they'll just have a rematch. Yeah, you beat the Lionheart, but no one's beating the Painmaker. So let's do that. So that will do it for AEW. Should be a good show. That tornado match looks great. Jericho and Mox, they never disappoint. So, but we are going to switch gears now to our main event of the show, and that is Emergence from Impact Wrestling. Again, doing us no favors by airing this on a Friday night. And the fun fact is that I found out is, September, whatever that show is, that's going to be on a Friday night. Bound for Glory in October, that's going to be on a Friday night. Just found out there's a show called Overdrive in November. That will also be on a Friday night.
I don't get it.
I don't know why WWE is going to Saturdays too. I don't like, even the Survivor Series is on a Saturday. SummerSlam was on a Saturday. I don't know.
They did it, I think, for the first time with New Year's Day, because they were trying to take the fact that there wasn't going to be the big football games, or the playoffs were not there on that Saturday, and they're like, "Ooh, this is a spot for us to fill what America's looking for and give them their entertainment." That totally made sense. When they changed it to a Saturday in Vegas, okay, Vegas is the kind of town maybe you don't want to just fly in on Sunday and fly right back out because you're going to be hungover after the show. Saturday pay-per-view there made sense, but enough of it. So pay-per-view, football should be played at 1 and 4 on Sunday, and pay-per-views should be on Sunday nights.
Or the double TV with the, like this. Yes.
Exactly.
Last Thursday on Impact, that was not Emergence related. Brian Myers defeated Black Taurus with the Royal Roll-Up. Chalk went up for Brian Myers, the first of many. Looking the bottom rope to retain the Digital Media Championship. Post-match, Guja came out through Myers back into the ring and eventually hit the Gargoyle Spear. That's a pretty vicious-looking move. I actually like that when Guja does that.
Pretty cool.
Masha Slamovich defeated Giselle Shaw after a snowplow. Giselle got Masha down for a pin attempt. So that's more than anyone else has gotten. on her. She got her on her back and got her down for a pin attempt, which I don't think anyone's done on Masha yet. So shout out to Giselle Shaw. Gave her a run for money. Gave her everything she got. Came up short though. What was the time on that? I didn't do the impact times because I just did the ticker.
Yeah, it was still under 3 minutes. It was 2:42. Yeah. That's certainly the longest she's gone. I would.
Yeah, it's twice as long as both Madison and Tennille did. That's. Killer Kelly's she's gonna make her in-ring debut this Thursday night. So that will take us to Emergence. Here are the Impact standings. Beavis. Wow. He is in first place, 130 points. John DeConnie chasing, 14 points behind. Brian Roy, myself, John Smith, Gary Mehaffy, all in a log jam down on the bottom. Same scoring for Emergence as it was for Quake by the Lake. 5 points for the Impact title match, 3 for all other titles, 1 for the non-title. But if there is a countdown match or anything that drops down to the countdown, it will not count. You get everything right, you go hang, you get 5 bonus points.
Word.
Last Thursday night, Deonna Purrazzo defeated Rosemary, and after Deonna told Jessica that she wasn't invited to the bachelorette party, and Jessica lost her mind trying to get at Deonna, Rosie hit the spear. Ref dealing with Jessica. Rosie gets rolled up. So 2 roll-ups real quick for Impact in the standings. But we have a tag team championship match. Rosemary with a valid point backstage, having a team meeting. What's the point of assembling a numbers game if they can't even use them in a 3-on-1 advantage? Chelsea Green was nowhere to be found in this match, and Deonna got the win with all 3 of them there. So, tag team championships on the line. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Oh man, I don't want to think that they're going to bounce them around that. I mean, if Ty and Rosemary kind of just won them. I know they've defended them once, but how do you put this team together, Vexed, and not have them win here?
Yeah,
so I'm going with it. I'm going with the new champs here.
Yeah, I got new champs as well. I'm at Jersey champ number 3. There you go, joining Casey, joining Liv. I get this rolling while we can. And then if Deonna wins if Sonya wins the tag title, the WWE tag title tournament, we got 4 Jersey Girl champions. It's been incredible. The X Division Championship will be on the line. The championship match that will be on Friday will be the winner of the match this Thursday. There's an X Division Championship match this Thursday as well. It's going to be Mike Ball, Speed Bailey, and Rocky Romero this Thursday for the X Division Championship, and the winner will have to defend it right away against Jack Evans. Jack Evans was supposed to be at Slammiversary, I believe. Yeah. Something happened. I don't know if he came down with COVID or if it was a travel issue. I don't remember. Don't really care. Unfortunately, he was unable to make it. So they're going to give him a chance to shine here in a 1-on-1 contest. John DeConnie, Jack Evans versus Mike Bailey sounds incredible to me.
It absolutely does. Not to say that Rocky Romero versus Jack Evans doesn't sound pretty awesome too, but I think it's a little too early in the reign of Yambag Bailey there to take the title off him. But I do love the fact that it was such a missed opportunity when Evans couldn't show up for Ultimate X. I'm glad to see they're going to put him right into a title match here, but I think Mike Bailey will still retain.
All right, there's going to be I got Mike Bailey also. Jack Evans is there for a show. It's going to be a great show. He's just there for the show. Just let Bailey retain and let him go into there's one more show before Bound for Glory. I forget what the name of it's going to be. Forget. Anyway, we have a special attraction Triple A match. Bandito, former Ring of Honor World Champion, and Rey Horus, who I have no idea who he is. So I'm gonna go with Bandito on this one. It's a great gimmick. I like the Zorro-ish. Like I said, he was actually in the Fatal 4-Way on the Ric Flair's last match special.
Oh my God, that match!
That match was incredible.
I finally got around to watching.
Horus and Laredo Kid and I forget the fourth. Phoenix, right? Phoenix. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bandito. I don't say it's a lock. I don't know who Rey Horus is, but I know Bandito has the accolades. He has the resume. So
yeah. This is where Beavis and Roy there are gonna have a little edge up on us, I guess, thinking that they know them a little better. But I'm gonna have to go with what you know. I'm gonna have to say Bandito.
Yeah, but those two are going to be the ones that outsmart themselves. Oh, Ray Horus was 17-time AAA cruiserweight Japanese. I just can't watch. Just leave everything other than the UK. Just leave everything stateside for me. The Motor City Machine Guns, they defeated Violent by Design with a third roll-up. How about that? It was a roll-up reversal into a roll-up. It was a roll-up on a roll-up. It was very well done. Impact's getting good at these.
It's like
by the Guns. Post-match attack by Violent by Design was thwarted by Kushida, and then the thwart was thwarted by Eric Young. So the Motor City Machine Guns and Kishida was backstage. They're sick of Violent by Design attacking them. Chris Sabin and Kishida wants a Violent by Design as he emerges because Alex Shelley is busy. Josh Alexander chimed in saying he wants Shelley 100% for emergence. So Shelley's busy. So Kushida is going to replace Shelley, or I guess if you look at it the other way, Sabin's going to replace Shelley in the Time Splitters. So like we got the Motor City Time Splitters here. Like this is like.
And didn't they have a name for them when all three of them performed together?
I have no idea. I didn't.
Yeah.
They're going to put Alex Shelley on a forklift and have Kushida and Sabin fight it out.
I mean, it's. I'm struggling within myself to say that EY is not going to cost Kushida and Sabin this match, but. Kishida just got there. He only got I think one victory so far, so I'm going to go with Sabin and Kishida because you can always have Diener take a pin.
Yeah, Diener, he's going to eat it. It seems like Eric Young, he's trying to teach them, and he's trying to get them to learn it on their own. So I don't think he's going to interfere at all. I don't think he's going to be. If he does anything, it'll be post match. I think Eric Young is trying to let them build themselves up, these two, and they keep failing and failing and failing, and they're going to fail again. And I think this is going to be it for Violent by Design. I think Eric Young is going to have enough. It's we're a little bit away from Bound for Glory, but maybe at the next show, if you can do like Eric Young versus Diener, then you have Eric Young versus Joe Doring at Bound for Glory. I think this is going to be the end of them. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll go three-way, have Diener be the special guest referee. I don't know. Speaking of three ways, Sami Callahan defeated Raj Singh after a crossface chicken wing, celebrated a little bit, called out both Moose and Macklin. They obliged, eventual low blow by Macklin into a lights out spear by Moose, leaving Sami in the ring. This is eventually going to be a triple threat. Again, Moose and Macklin saying they're not working with each other. They keep on, just jumping Sami Callahan. It's irrelevant, I guess, at the moment. But we're going to get Sami Callahan versus Steve Macklin. At Emergence 1-on-1. And again, you already had Sami and Moose at Slammiversary. You got Sami and Macklin Friday. September, you can just do Moose and Macklin and then just bring all three of them together at Bound for Glory. So they got a nice little thing going here with these three.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And what confuses me here is, like you said, Moose is going to get involved at some point. If we don't wind up with the three-way here, we'll wind up with the three-way down the line. So does he continue at this point to help Macklin and Macklin gets the first victory here, or does he screw him over already and that's what leads to the three-way? I'll say he helps him the first time around. I'll say Macklin takes this one.
Yeah, give it to Macklin, and then that'll just keep everything going. I think Macklin can out wrestle Sami anyway. I think Macklin's a better wrestler. If this is straight up wrestling, I think Macklin's going to have the advantage. He's a pretty tough guy. He's a Jersey guy. He might even have an advantage in an ODQ type of match. But yeah, I'll go Macklin as well. The Impact match of the week replay was Gail Kim versus Madison Rayde versus Jade. Jade, now known as Mia Yim. You can't have two Jades in the professional wrestling world. Can't do it.
You can have 16 pages and cages, but no, not two.
Yes.
Not two Jades.
5 people named Carter in NXT. Yeah. All three got together in the interview area after the fact. Gail Kim, who's retired and in the Impact Hall of Fame, proposed that they relive the memories of yesteryear. So it's going to be Madison Rayne and Gail Kim this Thursday, and then it leads into Jordan Grace and Mia Yim I'm sorry, Mia Yim and Madison Rain on Thursday. Sorry, Yims and Kims and Gail. It's just sorry. Mia Yim versus Madison Rain Thursday, leading into Mia Yim challenging for the Knockouts Championship on Friday against Jordan Grace.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, I got Mia winning the match. I'm guessing this is Madison's swan song. So
yeah.
They're letting Mia Yim put her on her resume one more time before she says goodbye. And then I'm very, very worried that means Mia is being set up to take the title away. I'm going to say Jordan retains right now, but obviously when we do this and there's still a show to go, something could change my mind on Thursday. But right now I'm going to say, Jordan still kind of early in her second reign here. So give me Jordan retaining.
Yeah, exactly. I got Jordan retaining. She had a great match with Deanna and Rachel Ellering at the Ric Flair's last match, and she's in this for long. She's dropping weight and getting stronger. Like she looks great. Like she looks incredible right now as an athlete and a performer. So let her just go with it. Like, let her go through Bound for Glory with it. I don't care what she does. She can do whatever at Bound for Glory, and she'll probably win it because Deanna's going to be in the tag title picture. That's like the one, vice of Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is going to hold it as long as Deanna lets her hold it. How about that?
I can't wait till those two circle back around to each other because it's got to happen.
Yes. Yep. Backstage promo with Honor No More. Emergence is it for them. And it's all about trust. Eddie has trust issues with PCO, but Vincent again had PCO's back, so Eddie said, go out and earn it. And holy crap, did PCO earn it. The Bullet Club did it before, a promo before that, though. Same old recipe, a magic killer, a 1-2-3, and a just too sweet. This week, I do believe we have Kenny King versus Karl Anderson on Thursday. PCO defeated Doc Gallows in incredible. You want to go over this? Like, this was out of control.
Yeah. So, it's 16 and a half minutes, but the important part happened in the last 3. PCO starts tearing the ring apart. And he doesn't just tear up a little corner. He went almost all the way around the ring with the scissors to undo all the little ties, peeled back the canvas, peeled back the padding. Then at some point, I'm trying to remember when the hole came. Oh, Gallows, PCO went to climb. Gallows goozled him while he was up there, choke slammed him onto the bare wood. He broke through it. He wound up in a hole below the mat, a la Bam Bam and Taz. And, it's been done before, but, not all that often. And then PCO found his way out of the hole. And this part would make no sense. He had a bag of thumbtacks. He had a rubber glove. He put the thumbtacks into the rubber glove, then put his hand into the rubber glove, more thumbtacks into the palm of his hand, and then dropped an elbow on Gallows. Gallows rolls into the hole. PCO stands on his chest, and somehow the referee still counted as Gallows was on the concrete below, and PCO gets the victory. Is Impact going to impact?
Impact's going to impact. I was correct. Karl Anderson versus Kenny King on Thursday. But yeah, Honor No More. Everything's on the line. This is the biggest match that they had. Before it was just to them to get into the company. They won that. This is for them to stay together. If they lose, they're done. If they win, they get everything that they deserve, which would be a tag team championship match with Taven and Bennett against the Good Brothers. And in the midst of everything last week, there was a run-in with Eddie Edwards and Josh Alexander. And this is what I've been waiting for. I thought maybe they'd do it at Slam Reverse or whatever. Eddie Edwards, the reason why Eddie Edwards joined Honor No More, because he was pissed off at Impact for not trusting him to get that title back when he actually pinned Kenny Omega. There was a multi-man match in a pay-per-view. He pinned Kenny Omega, and they were sending other people other than him to get that belt back. And that's what pissed off Eddie and had Eddie turn his back. Now Eddie's gonna, Josh Alexander ended up being the guy. He beat Christian. Christian beat Kenny Omega, of course, the greatest match in Rampage history, to retain to get the Impact title off Kenny. But then Josh beat that was last year at Bound for Glory, right? Josh beat Christian. So we're sort of going back around a year later, and then it could be meaning. So now, I'm not saying this, that, or the other. Eddie Edwards doesn't have to be the leader of Honor No More to get that title match. So I don't think this match has anything to do with the world title. I'm just pointing it out there, but this has everything to do with them because I don't know what you're going to do with these guys if they split up.
Yeah. Well, this is where I wish I was more in tune with and that, quite frankly, that the information was even out there of what is going to happen with Ring of Honor going forward. Are they planning the next match already? Is there even an inkling that they're going to get a TV show? Because, if you're going to break them all up because they're all going back to Ring of Honor, then that makes perfect sense. But if they're going to stick around, they're better as a unit, and OGK getting that tag title match against the Good Brothers makes good sense, and Eddie getting that eventual world title match while, still waving the flag for Honor No More makes the most sense. So for that reason, I'm going to say, either probably Bay or Austin eats the pin here, and Honor No More gets the win. They get to stay together.
You look at the graphic, too. Kenny King's sitting this one out. I'd put Kenny King in there for Vincent, but that's just me. What are the Good Brothers doing? I've been hearing stuff about the Good Brothers. They're not under contract anymore. Do they keep them around till Bound for Glory? To drop them to OGK? I got Honor No More winning this. I think there's too much. I think they have too much of a good thing with this going right now. I think this is one of the best factions. The thing is, you always notice that, they're always fighting the Bullet Club, but they're doing these 10-minute matches. They're not taking anybody else's spots right now by getting one match. They're taking a spot that Eddie Edwards had already.
Right, exactly.
So you're still letting everybody else, even though 6 people came to the company, you're still not. Now, if you break them off, now you got to know. OGK needs a match, and now Matt Taven or whatever breaks off this. Well, no, they're going to be singles wrestlers, right? They can't stay together either. So now Taven's going to need a match. Now Bennett's going to need a match. Now they're going to have a feud with PCO, and Vincent's going to. So it's. I don't think they're going back to Ring of Honor. I think they're still under contract, unless it's later on down the line. I guess they could always go back, but I think they are contracted Impact wrestlers. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Honor No More on this one, just based out of SpongeBob. Just because of the Good Brothers. I don't know what they're doing with the Good Brothers. And then that takes us to our main events. Actually, there it is right here. Josh Alexander eventually approached by Eddie Edwards with some helper words, hoping that they don't do to Josh what they did to everybody else. Kishida versus Diener. I don't know why. I guess I forgot the. That's a screwed up. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Kishida versus Diener. That should have been said earlier. Anyway, there's a contract signing this Thursday. I don't think anyone's going to sign it in blood like McDonough did. That was tough. But these are two baby faces. I'm sure it's going to be, it'll get heated, but I don't know if they're going to come to blows or not. But Alex Shelley earned this match. He defeated Chris Sabin, one of the match of the year candidates, in my opinion. His first ever world championship opportunity against the walking weapon, Josh Alexander.
Yeah, this one, this is going to be so good. And, if things were a little down for Impact right now and they didn't have, if Josh wasn't such a star, if they didn't build him so well between the long reign with the North and the whole, Moose taking the title away from him and cashing in option C and this, that, and the other, I would say that this is a spot where you could give Shelley that pat on the back and give him that world title that he doesn't have on his resume. But I think things are just too good right now with Josh as the hood ornament of this company. So I say he retains. And, at most, if he's going to drop it, as we were just talking about in the last segment, maybe Eddie takes it from him at Bound for Glory, but I don't think before that.
No, he's got to walk down the aisle at Bound for Glory. Unfortunately, this match is going to be incredible. I can't wait for it. But yeah, this has to be Josh Alexander. So that will do it. And John the Connie, as you see, I haven't been in my phone all that much because I got the wall roll-ups done. I got it. So we're back to where we needed to be, John and Connie. Look at all these roll-ups last week. Impact rattled off 3. AEW on the Battle Belt. They had a bonus show just so they could have Thunder Rosa put on the roll-up list. That's her third. Chris Sable was his third. We had 2 on SmackDown. Those are the 2 I was missing for everything. So Shayna Baszler, she got her second on Raquel Rodriguez. Kofi Kingston with 1 on Eric. And that puts SmackDown up to 24. That puts AEW and Impact hitting the 30 mark. Woo! And Raw nowhere to be found the past couple weeks. Unbelievable. The times they are a-changing. Xavier Woods still leads the way, even though he's got injury. Dana Brooke failed opportunity. She had a match on Monday. She could have got a roll-up win, didn't get it done. Wheeler Yuta, his finishing moves now in this seatbelt roll-up. I guess that's kind of counting. He's in the running here. Liv Morgan with 4, then A-Type with 3. The Miz and Tamina still leading the way with 4. Butchie, Jordan Grace, Theory, Kenny Williams.
Go back to the most wins right there for real quick. All right, so Woods and Yuta use the roll-up as their finisher. Dana Brooks in the 24/7 division. If I'm looking at that graphic, your champion of the Raw roll-up right now is Liv Morgan. They had another credential to her resume.
The Prime Time Rundown. The Prime Time Rundown's regular season programming has concluded. And it's resumed its second summer schedule every Monday at 7 p.m. Join Joey Jarzanka, Ian Schreier, and Mike Zabo as they bring you the world of sports on Monday nights in the thick of the summer right here on the Eastern Observer. They're starting their football. They did their AFC North. And was it the AFC North? They did both Norths, right? Because they had a guy from the Bears on. I think they had a guy with the Browns on too, right?
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, so they got those 2 divisions out of the way. I know me and John Smith will be on August 23rd. It's actually a Tuesday. Part of Doubleheader Tuesday. We got to go right from this show and put on our football caps. Talk a little pigskin at the end of the month. But they're in full football mode here, boys. This is going to be so much fun. Do you have any interest in becoming a sports reporter? Would you want to be asking high-profile coaches and players questions in person? Are you a college student looking to break into the sports media industry and looking to write about your favorite team? The Eastern Observer is looking for interested candidates to join the family for college credit. Look no further, aspiring writers, social media specialists, content creators, etc., and inquire by emailing eosports3@gmail.com. We are looking forward to having you join the Eastern Observer family. Black Cats NYC, their new album, Free Cake, launched about 2 years ago. Their new album. Guys, stall right now. Black Cats NYC, Free Cake. Anywhere that you get music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Pandora, anywhere that you get your music, you can get the Black Cats NYC's album, Free Cake, out now. Play loud. As always, the Essential Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by Pro Wrestling Pick'em, the internet leader in sports entertainment pick'em pools. Join us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast public pool. Play against us, or you can create a private pool with you and your friends. ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And guys, she will like it too. And then join us back here next week for episode 114 at 5 p.m. on all of our viewing options. And while you're here and watching us now and we're listening, please make sure that you like this episode and subscribe to all of the Eastern Observer stuff. Make sure you get all the updates on all of our shows, the new articles. Guys, we cannot stress this enough. It is all about the algorithm. Help us. I'm not asking you for money. John the Con, anything before we get out of here?
Thank you, Gary, for staying with us a little longer and for having the line of the show. And thank you, Al, for doing a lot of heavy lifting today since we're a man down.
Yeah, John Smith, we missed it, pal. We got some comments on it. Probably John. Yeah, Karen Cross. There you go. Karen Cross is back, baby. He also wants to apologize. And the fan is secretly Gary. Like, they're best friends. They text
Say,
each other at
he knows
night.
that fan
Good
is
night,
Gary,
Gary.
right?
Good night, John. Love you, Gary. Love you too. They're secretly like BFFs. It's adorable. Thank you very much for joining us. Alexa Bliss, we love you. Where are you, Alexa? Alexa Bliss, we love you. Larry Steve, always in our hearts. John McConaughey.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
Who do you fill this out with? It's got to be Gargano, Candice, and Tegan, right?
I like the way that sounds.